Stative verbs, stative verbs, stative verbs. A lot of people really are very confused when it comes to stative verbs. It's those group of verbs that if you are a native English speaker, you use correctly, but if you're asked why you use them a certain way, you really can't explain it. So this is the group of verbs that just never or hardly ever take the ing form, and they always stay in the simple tense. And so this gets a little confusing because it's an odd group of verbs, but they do kind of neatly fit into some clusters for understanding and remembering them. So let's take a look. I'm going to share my screen here really quickly, and that way you can see the presentation as well. Let me change the presentation format. All right, so we're talking about verbs that do not take an ing. We just simply don't move them into the progressive form. And just as a reminder about the progressive form, these are the verbs that take am, are, or is, or was, or were, if you're using past progressive. And then you use those with the verb plus ing. Okay, like I am writing this presentation right now is an example of the progressive form. But these verbs do not take that form. They don't take that form. We stay up here in the simple form with simple past, simple present, and simple future. So the verbs I'm going to present today, this is part 2, and I will show them to you in the simple present, but they can move into the simple past and simple future. They just never move into the progressive forms at all. They never take the ing. All right, so here are the first 4 words in our second set: need, want, desire, and wish. I know need and want are probably very much understood by this point. Of course, need are the things that we have to have. Want are the things we would like to have, but we don't need them. Desire and wish are a little bit different. Let's start with desire. So if you desire something, you want something, but you want something very badly. It's very emotional. If you desire something, it's very, very emotional. It's very, you feel it in all of your senses. Some people desire to sail around the world. Okay? Wish is to hope for. Um, it might be something you need that you are wishing for. It might be something you want, but please, please, please. That's wishing. That's wishing. I wish I had the skills to sail a boat, but I don't. All right. The next two this next set has 2 words in it. Both are nearly identical, almost identical, but not quite. Consist of and contain. Okay, so consist of means if you took everything and you mixed it all together, that's what something consists of. So like you have to think about it all being mixed together, a lot like making a recipe. So for example, dough, which he's rolling out, dough consists of flour, water, salt, and yeast, like all mixed together in a bowl, right? That's what it consists of. All right. Now, contains is a little bit different. Contains is it being held by something. So, for example, a bowl might contain cereal or pretzels. A vase might contain flowers. Okay. A pot might contain a plant. Okay. The jar contains yeast. So consist of, you kind of have to think of everything mixed all together. Contains means it has something in it. Okay. So for example, you might say this this chocolate has peanuts. And rather than saying has, would you use consists of peanuts or contains peanuts? We would actually say contains peanuts because it's chocolate that's holding peanuts in it. It is kind of strange, but we would say that the chocolate bar contains, or consists of, I should say consists of, chocolate powder, sugar, a little bit of oil. That's what's mixed together to make the chocolate. So hopefully that's a little more clear what the difference is between consists of and contains. All right, now we have exist and matter, kind of related, but I put them together just like they are in the book that we use, and you can kind of think of them as a pair. Beautiful birds exist in our world. They live. They are alive in our world. That's exist. Okay. They simply are. We can go touch them. Matter means that it's something for us to be concerned about or care about. The environment matters, and we must care for it. All right. So similar in idea, but definitely not the same. But maybe it'll help you remember those two as a pair, a working pair. All right. Hear and sound. Now, hear makes sense. Can you hear me? Yes, I hear you. All right. You've probably used this verb quite a bit, right? But we can't say I am hearing you. That doesn't make any sense. Can you? Are you hearing me? No, 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 no. We just say, can you hear me? All right. Now, sound is a little bit different because make sure you're using sound as the verb and not as the noun. In order for this to make sense, you sound too soft, I'll turn up the volume, as opposed to turn up the sound. The sound in that sentence is the noun form. So, just make sure you're using it in the verb as a verb. You sound too soft. That bell sounds too loud to me. You have to make sure it's in the verb form. A phrase that we use quite a bit is that sounds good. And that phrase means I like that idea. So you might have heard that phrase. We say that a lot as English speakers. Yeah, that sounds good. I like that idea. Let's do that. Okay. I think these are probably three, this grouping of three. While they're all related, these are kind of tough. So let's take a look at this. It's something, all the pencils seem dull. When things seem like something, they appear that way to us from our point of view. Okay, they seem dull, and if you take a look at them, of course they are, with the exception of that red pencil sticking up. All right, to look like is exactly what that indicates. It appears to be identical to. The pencils look like they need to be sharpened. All right, they appear as though they need to be sharpened, and they do. They look like. We use that phrase a lot. You look like you are tired. Okay, the sky looks like it will rain. Okay, the plant looks like it needs water. It appears as though. And resemble means to take after, to look like. Resemble is has to do with like physical appearance, not just an idea of something. So the pencils resemble pencils I used to have as a child. So they remind me of, they look identical to in a physical appearance. They resemble, and you're always talking about something else. For example, we might say, you resemble your dad. You look like your dad. There's always a comparison when we use resemble between one thing or thing A and another thing B. You resemble this. The dog resembles his brother. There's two things that we're always have on either side of resemble, which is different from look like, right? The plant looks like it needs water. I'm not saying the plant looks like something I used to have before, plant I used to have before. It's not a plant and a plant. It looks like it needs something. So it's a different idea at the end of look like. Just so you use those correctly. All right, now we have agree and disagree. This is just simply an opposite pair. Can we agree to sign a contract? No, we still disagree about the price, right? Let's agree on a price. Those are pretty easy, right? But we wouldn't say, can we Are we agreeing to sign a contract? No, no, no. Now remember, no progressive form, no ing. Here's a word that we use a little bit. And again, just remember to never put it in progressive. Mean, but not mean as in somebody who doesn't treat you nicely. This has everything to do with meaning, as in our understanding. The results mean you are healthy. The results show us, and we can interpret it. The answer is you are healthy. The results mean you are healthy. We would not say the results are meaning you are healthy. Again, no progressive form for these verbs. Promise. Okay, so we can't say I am promising to help you with your homework. We simply say I promise that I will help you with your homework, or you promise to pay me. Okay, and so make sure you can also add a past tense on this. You promised to pay me, so make sure you do. Right? Okay, good. And finally, we have amaze and surprise. All right, the difference between amaze and surprise. They're very similar, but there is a slight difference. When we have surprise, we're always talking about something not expected. It's a shock. Oh my gosh, where'd that come from? Right? The smoke surprises the kids. They weren't expecting it. Now, amaze is something different. Amaze, we can expect that something awesome or cool will happen, but we're still like, wow, when we see it. So I always think of amazing, like different circus acts or people who do really crazy, complicated dances. They're dancers, they are acrobats. I expect that they're going to be doing something pretty neat. And yet when they do, I'm still watching and saying, wow. So I'm not surprised by what they do. I'm not shocked. I'm expecting them to do something. So I would use the word amaze instead. And in this case, the experiment amazes the kids because science can be mysterious. They know that they're going to see something cool, and it's still really neat when they see it. And so it amazes them. It doesn't surprise them. It amazes them. All right. So that takes us through very quickly the second set of stative verbs. I hope some of my explanations help clear up the meaning for some of these verbs, but in all cases, remember that you are not adding an ing. You simply want to use them in their present format, whether you're using it in present past, present perfect, or present future. All right. Good luck out there.